Shamrock is getting ready to start a war, and there's going to be a bunch of characters that are involved. And I saw a post on Twitter that listed 9 of the strongest characters that are currently at Elbaph, and the list included Shamrock, Loki, Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, Scopper Gaban, Dorian Bragi, Jinbei, and Gunko. And there's probably going to be even more people, maybe another Holy Knight based off of what Shamrock stated or his request in chapter 1138, maybe even revolutionaries if Dragon decides to finally do something, maybe even Shanks and Blackbeard. But as of chapter 1139, these are definitely the 9 strongest characters that are currently at Elbaph, and I wanted to rank them. Now technically I've already done a YouTube short about these characters, so if you guys want to see that and just see the quick version, I'll leave it in the description. However, in that version I didn't actually explain why certain characters were ranked where they were. And I know how some of you guys get in my comments about how I don't explain things, and y'all get mad whenever there's not an explanation and certain characters are where they are, so I'm gonna do one in this video. I want to say quickly, when it comes to rankings, I feel like people need to understand this. Just because character A is ranked higher than character B does not mean that the strength gap between the two is really as wide as the number says it is. For this list, someone could be ranked at number 6 and then somebody could be ranked at number 3, but the difference is very minuscule. And also I use those specific numbers because if you guys pay attention, you'll probably know which 2 characters I'm talking about. I also think that there are some characters that are definitely interchangeable, and I'll let you guys know which ones I'm talking about when I'm making the list. So with that away, we're going to start with number 9. I think that is Jinbei, and I feel bad for having Jinbei this low because someone like him being this low, it just doesn't seem right, because we know all what Jinbei is able to do, having Fishman Karate. He has really good observation and armament. They're not advanced, but he makes up for it with having Fishman Karate. I think we're starting to get to the point in this series where everyone that is involved is strong, and so Jinbei being this low, even though it doesn't seem right, this is a slight on him. It just means that other characters are so strong that, well, it makes Jinbei, I guess, like based off a number of appearances, seem weak. Number 8, I have Dory and Bragi. Originally I was going to have them dead last, I'm not going to lie about that, but what they did at Egghead, displaying their strength, it changed my perspective not only about them but about the giants, because if you look at the giant race compared to other races in the series, or at least compared to the normal ones, the giants are clearly superior. I think the only other ones that I would say give them a run for their money is probably the Lunarians, hence why they were wiped out. And then there's the ancient giants, specifically looking at someone like Kaido, who's argued to be top 1 in the current story, going against the Gorosei, destroying Kid's ship, having bounties 1.8 billion. That's why they're ranked number 8. Number 7, I have Gunko, simply because I just glazed the giants. So if I glazed them and Gunko, she was able to knock out 2 of them, then I definitely had to put her higher than them. Being an air woman, she can use her devil fruit in a lot of different unique ways, where there's both to get around and move, as well as when she uses it to attack people. What she did to someone like Loki, granted, he is chained up. We do have to have that caveat in there, but still, it was impressive. And this may be me projecting, because I want the Holy Knights to be savages. I want them to be strong so badly, because I'm not gonna lie, the way they put up on Loki and dipped, it was kind of like the Akatsuki, which is why I have her at number 7. I can see the argument between these 3 being interchangeable. You move them around, she could very well be number 9, number 8, and the same could be said with Jinbei and Dorian Bragi, but for right now, I'm gonna leave her at 7. Number 6, I have Sanji. Him gaining his exoskeleton and the Ifrit Jinbei is why I have him at number 6. I think he is clearly stronger than the other 3, but I don't think he's at the level of anyone above him, well, at least just yet. But depending on what Sanji does in this arc, he can definitely go up. And I think one thing that is different about Sanji than other characters on the list is I think that Sanji has a lot more that he can potentially, or at least his ceiling could potentially be higher based off of what Scopper Gaban does in this arc, because they parallel each other, and Gaban being the 3rd strongest, which I guess that's a segue to go into him. Who I have at number 5 is Scopper Gaban. We all know that he's old, but we've seen what a lot of old characters in this series can do, so he's definitely going to be the standard for Sanji, just based off of what was said about him, standing shoulder to shoulder with Roger and Rayleigh, being the left hand. He had to have been one of the strongest characters in the series. He could have conquerors, could have advanced version of hockey. We'll have to see, and that's part of the reason why I have him this high, and potentially he could go even higher. Like I said, I'm kind of lowering my expectations because we know what these old people can do. I think Garp is the exception. He was the hero of the Navy. He was able to go toe to toe with Roger, so I think him being this strong even in his old age is an exception. And even Rayleigh, you know, he's built different, being the Dark King, and I think that Gaban is definitely one of those two, but I don't want to put him as high or hold him as high regard as I do with Garp and Rayleigh, because I think they're slightly stronger than him. But if you guys have made it this far into the video and enjoying the content, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. I pump out different One Piece content almost each and every day. For number 4, I have Shamrock, and I think that the person that I have above him, that they are definitely interchangeable. Similar with Gaban, he could definitely go up. It just depends on what is revealed about Shamrock and what all he can do. But he is the commander of the Holy Knights and is a part of the Figureland family, and from what we've seen of Shanks and the little that we saw of Garlink, oh, the people of the Figureland family, they're freaking monsters. Plus his sword can change into a Cerberus, which it looks like his sword is an awakened mythical zone too, so that's why I have Shamrock at number 4. Like I said, he could definitely be number 3, maybe even number 2. Number 3 is Zoro. I'm a Zoro fan, so hell yeah, I'm a glaze him. Now, like I mentioned, similar to Shamrock, he could definitely be number 4. He could also definitely be number 2. It just all depends on what he does during the arc. I will say, compared to Shamrock, part of this is me projecting because I know what all Zoro did in Wano, what he did against Kaido, what he did against King, especially now that he's an advanced Conqueror's user. It's hard for me to put anybody else above him, especially if they are an advanced Conqueror's user. For number 2, I have Loki. I at first did not hold Loki in a high regard, but the way that different individuals are talking about him, I'm talking about Gaban, I'm talking about all the other giants, they are right in this man's meat. They are glazing the hell out of Loki, and I guess rightfully so, because it took someone like Shanks to be able to take him down. The little bit that we've seen of him chained up, he has future sight. They talked about him having this legendary Devil Fruit, and the way that people are talking about him, they wouldn't talk about him in this regard if he wasn't like that, because the last person that the story glazed like this, well, it was Kaido, and we all know what Kaido was able to do. So yeah, Loki, he's chained up right now. I'm gonna need them chains up off him. I need to see what this man can do. And lastly, number 1 is obviously Luffy. This one is pretty self-explanatory. I think a lot of people hold Luffy in high regard because he has Gear 5th. His Devil Fruit is broken as hell. He has all the different types of hockey. All of them are advanced. Just needs to control them a little bit better, especially what he did with Gear 4th. We know that he has, or at least he can transform part of his body into it, have miniature Gear 4s or use mini Gear 4s. So hey, maybe Luffy has gotten even better with his hockey control. He's at the point in the series where there's only a handful of people that I'm taking over Luffy, or if I am taking them over him, it's not even by that much. So that's why I think Luffy right now is the strongest individual that is at Elbaph. As I mentioned, there definitely could be people that could be higher, could be people that are lower. I think so many people are interchangeable. I don't think that the difference between a lot of them is massive, and these are only the 9 individuals that are revealed so far that we could talk about. Like I said, Shanks could pull up, Dragon could pull up, another member of the Holy Knights could pull up, and then it throws this list out the window. But we're ranking this as of chapter 1139. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your order in the comment section below. Don't just shit on my list, all right? I know some of you guys are going to do it. Don't just do that. Drop your list in the comments below if you got the balls to do it. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.